Hello everybody and welcome. I'm delighted to be here with you, streaming from my living room directly to you in your personal spaces. So thank you for having me, and a big thank you to Luminate for this opportunity to share some of my practice with you. My name's Skye Reynolds and I'm an Edinburgh-based movement artist, originally from Australia. And before we begin, I'd like to make several health and safety suggestions, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about what we're going to do. So firstly, please have a drink nearby so that you can stay hydrated. Secondly, as you can see, I've taken off my shoes and socks because I prefer to move barefoot. So I invite you to do the same, but if you prefer to leave your shoes on, that's absolutely fine as well. I've divided this session into two sections, and in the first section I'll be here in my living room sitting on this physio ball. If you have a ball and you're confident using it, then please go ahead. Otherwise, everything else in this section can be done either seated on a chair or in standing, and please feel free to move about standing or sitting or even lying down as you wish. In the second part of this session, we're going to relocate to our kitchens. I thought it would be fun to explore some domestic dancing, so I hope you'll find it fun as well. So in preparation, please can you clear some space in your kitchen so that you can move about freely. I'll be making some movement suggestions and we'll be improvising with them. So I'm going to ask you at times to lean on the table or a chair or even against a wall. So please make sure that your furniture is stable before you do that. And at all times, make choices based on what feels safe and secure for your range of movement, as well as comfortable, because we'll be exploring our balance a little bit in that section. So I think it's a general note for the whole class that I invite you to move intuitively, to stay within your pleasure zone, to pay attention to your body's needs. If you feel like stretching out and moving more, or if you'd like to move more quietly and less, or pause and listen, please do. So this is an invitation for us to go on a journey together and for us to have a moment to come a little bit further inside and pay attention to our own bodies and ourselves within the home. And I hope that you will enjoy the session. So having said that, I think it's time to put some music on and let's go. And today I'm playing some music by my daughter's band, which is some jazz and some vocals, so I hope you'll enjoy it. I'd like us to begin by bringing our attention into the breath. So let's bring one hand onto the belly, just feel the curve of the belly and the abdomen, and the other hand up here onto your breastbone. And you feel the collarbones there, the clavicle up at the top, probably with your thumb and your first finger. And then with the rest of the fingers, you might even feel the shape of some of your ribs. So you could slide the hand a little bit if you like, just at the top. And curve the belly. And then settling down, you can close your eyes if you like. And just breathing beautiful fresh air into the lungs. And exhaling out any old air. You can breathe in through the nose if you like, and out either through your mouth or your nose. See if you can sense the ribs opening with the inhale and sliding and closing with the exhale, letting go of any tension in the shoulders or in the jaw. And as you breathe in, imagine that the inside of your rib cage, your lungs, is like a ball, an inflatable ball or a balloon. And as you breathe in, it fills up the back, the front and the sides, top and bottom, and it lifts you up a little bit. Inhaling and exhaling, you can keep that length through the spine, rib cage sliding back down. And this time noticing as you inhale, as the lungs inflate, how the heart lifts a little bit. And exhaling. As you soften back down, the lungs deflate, the heart settles back down. Just behind your breastbone, the heart. Breathing in, feeling that opening and lift all the way out to the fingertips, and exhaling, keeping that lovely length in the spine as we come back to center. Beautiful. And let's bring our hands together and just give them a little rub, warming up the skin, feeling the way the fingers slide over each other. You can turn the hands over each other. And let's bring the hands up to the head and just feel your skull or your cranium. You can take your fingertips and the fingers and really feel the bone, the whole shape of it, the size of the back, the curvature. And then bring your thumbs underneath the back and see if you can slide your thumbs along the base of the skull. You might want to just give yourself a little tiny massage there with the fingertips and the thumbs. And then you can squeeze the hair a little bit if you like. If you haven't been to the hairdresser for a while, it's nice to give yourself a massage. And then with the tips of the fingers, we're just going to tap to the top of the head, around the front, all along the hairline. You might want to give yourself some gentle tapping on the face, almost like rain, or the spray of the sea if we're on the beach. A little bit down here, just along the collarbones or clavicles, and out along the other side. Lovely. And then bringing the hands together, and let's give them a bit more of a vigorous rub, feeling the fingers sliding against each other. And we're going to do a little bit of brushing. So I'm going to come a little closer. So I'm just going to slide one hand over the other and feel the skin. So finding this sense of the shape of your hands, the skin, the texture of the hands, and all those bones underneath. So there's about 27 bones in each hand. So give them a bit of a squeeze. And then the wrist. And finding this place where the wrist and the hand connect, and how the bones turn around each other in the lower arm, and how we can organize our other arm to slide all the way up to the shoulder, and feeling that sense of the bones coming down, and then switching sides and feeling that, as well as the skin and the surface of the skin, that we've got the quality of the muscles and the bones underneath. So give yourself a little bit of a massage. It's really important at the moment, I think, that we give ourselves a massage, because we might not have other people who can do it for us. So let's find the collarbones up here, sliding around, and let's give the shoulders a wee squeeze. Of course, if you have got somebody who can give you a massage, even better. And then the other side. And finding that place where the shoulder and the clavicles come to meet. So finding the bones, tracing the bones here, all the way to the other side. And just sweeping the hands across the neck and the shoulders. Lovely. Great. And then giving yourself a little hug. So a little squeeze. Squeezing in. Great. And then let's just cup the hands. So make a little soft C shape with the hand. And we're just going to cup a little bit along the leg. You can do both at the same time, or whatever's comfortable, and just find the shape of your legs. You might want to just give the muscles, let the muscles wobble a little bit, give them a squeeze, using the cupping shape of the hand to just feel the curves in the bones and the muscles, and then finding that squeeze through the fingers, squeezing into the legs, using the bones of the hands all the way down to the ankles if you can. And if not, just side of the legs. Lovely, and then let's just shake it out a little bit, as if you're flicking water off your fingers, just gently through the fingers, relaxing any tension out of the arms. And let's just find the hands again in space. Imagine that we are just on that beach in the water, and we're just pushing the hands through a watery-like surface. Your feet can be on warm sand, a little bit of wind blowing, and let's find those wings in the wrists and the fingers and the fingertips, and really thinking about the way the hands can move around the wrist and how the fingers can rotate around each other to give us some beautiful movement through the arms. Wherever you are, just feeling the space on either side of you, above you, perhaps coming in close with the hands and giving them a quality of movement that helps you to express how you're feeling. And find this fluid, watery quality of moving the arms as if you're in the sea. You're swimming. Can you sense how the rib cage follows the arms? Sense of warmth coming out from the heart, right out to the fingertips. Imagine you're sharing your open arms with all of those you care about. Inhaling, feeling the heart being lifted again by the lungs. Great, in this space of the collarbone, moving the shoulder. So collarbone, lengthening out to the shoulder and the hands, and then this lovely squeezing quality with the hands. And then let's bring the warm hands, so give them a little bit more of a rub, and let's bring them back up to the face. And just cupping the face and feeling the shape of your bones. Cheekbones. Tracing the bones, feeling the skin, and then up here, right up into the jaw. The jaw and the ear connects, and just tracing down, feeling the shape of the face and moving the skin around, giving yourself a little skin massage, some little squeezes. Lovely. Okay, let's take that lovely fluidity and aliveness in the very tips of our fingers and arms, and let's bring that inside and take a few moments to just have a pause and a rest. Make yourself comfortable. You can close your eyes or leave them open. And just bringing our attention back to the breath. And doing a little scan of our body. So having a sense of our skeleton, feet on the floor. Maybe they're still in that lovely warm sand. And the head, spine. And how do you sense the arms and the hands in relation to the rib cage now, and into the collarbones, the clavicles? Do you have a sense of the connection from the very tips of our fingers into the very core of our body? And can you sense the spine coming all the way up in between the ears? Give yourself a little nod just to find that place, the very top of the spine. And then letting the spine travel all the way down in a little wave to the tailbone. Give your tail a little wiggle. And just allow the sense of the spine to have a small pulse, a tiny wave that moves up from the tailbone to the top of the head, or from the head down to the tail, and you can open your eyes or keep them closed, and just having a sense of how much of the inside of your body is taken up by these 24 vertebrae. And let your spine move a little bit. You'll notice that your pelvis is probably joining in. The legs are shifting a bit in the floor to keep you supported through your feet. So the whole body's involved in this movement. And see if there's a part of your spine that moves more than another part, or a bit that you really like to move. And just allow yourself to really shuggle it around, move those vertebrae however you like. It can be small or bigger. And then find another space in the spine which you don't move as much. It's a bit like the space at the back of the wardrobe. And see if you can shuggle it out, like you're shaking things out in there, and getting a little bit of light into the spaces between the bones, spaces around the bones. A couple of little waves through the spine, any direction you like, the sideways, snaky spine, or the forwards and backwards. And allow a little bit of rotation to come in. The eyes traveling around your room, taking everything in, having a sense of the inside of the body as we come back out into the room. And then before we finish this part of the session, I think we ought to give a little bit of attention to our feet, our very patient feet who have been with us all the way through, but they haven't had very much attention. We haven't really looked at them or given them a focus. So now it's their moment. So let's give them a little bit of a massage, pressing, pushing, coming up onto the tippy toes, and moving your feet in the floors just as you like. You can have the support of the rest of the body, holding onto the chair, or if you're in standing, you might be shifting through the floor, imagining that we're in the sand and that our feet are like hands with fingers. The toes are like fingers and they're drawing in the sand. Just imagining what you might draw in the sand if you're on the beach. Drawing in the sand, gathering in a big pile of sand, warm, and brushing it off. Feeling the feet on each other like warm hands. And if you can take hold of one foot, give it a little squeeze along the spine of the foot, the edge of the foot. And this is something that you can continue later. And if you have a good friend, this is the moment to ask them to give you a foot massage. And obviously you can give them one back too. Bye-bye. I'm going to end this part of the session here, but I'd like to invite you to join me in the kitchen for a little bit of dancing in the space with our feet, if you feel like getting up and moving around a little bit more. Hope to see you there. Welcome to my kitchen, everyone. And I'm hoping you might have a space in your home or your house where you can join me. And let's look for a surface, maybe a wall or a chair or even your bench top. Let's feel it and find a place where you can lean into it. If you're on the wall, you might be able to hold onto an edge. If you're on a chair, you might just want to lean into it. And finding a place on the wall, if you're on the wall, to just slide up and down and use the surface of the floor to push into the feet, letting the spine lengthen. And then rolling over, and let's just hang over, dangling the head, and rolling back up, and tipping over again, and thinking of all of those vertebrae stacking up. And then see what you can do with your surface. Maybe you can shift some weight and lift a foot off the floor, maybe lift your whole leg off the floor. It can be nice to use surfaces to give you support, to help with your balance. And how can you turn and reach? How is it when we turn into each other? Taking a little spin in the room, opening out through the arms, using the surface of the wall or the table to push into, perhaps do some little press-ups, feeling the weight of the body coming through the arms. And then again, finding a place to reach up to perhaps a top shelf or the fridge. And using the feet, so squidging into the feet, finding those ankles and the edges of the feet, the wrists and the hands. And finding a place to have a hand and foot dance, enjoying yourself, pressing into the feet, the toes, and swinging the legs. And thinking about the back space as well, places where you can lean back and rest your feet up, feeling the air behind you. Maybe finding the same place again to have another lean, and just making your way around the kitchen and exploring places that you've just visited or somewhere you want to have a closer look at. And we're just weaving together some movements that are inspired by your domestic place. So the cleaning actions of cleaning, and we have our watery hands if you were doing this session before. And how can we bring the watery hands into the kitchen? So we have kitchen action, and we have a bit of watery hands and feet from the previous session. And finding little places to reach. What can I do in my kitchen? You can challenge yourself if you want to make a dance class. Perhaps you could make one in the kitchen. Clear everything away, find somewhere to spin, and enjoying that sense of fun. If you want to take a chair, maybe you're sitting down already and you're doing everything with your arms and feet and your limbs and head, trace the edges of the chair, find a place to sit down and relax for a moment. And find a comfortable position. Then maybe find another comfortable position and shift your position a few times. And this is a great place to give yourself a foot massage. And the support of the chair helps you to lift the leg up more easily. You can lean back and relax. Just for a moment though. And see how else you could sit on the chair. Could you curl in, give yourself a hug, make yourself small. Taking a walk around the chair, around the object, the landscape of the kitchen, being playful. Seeing we don't have any studios we can go to at the moment, any dance studios, making the most of all of our available spaces and all of our available equipment. So finding perhaps a cup or a saucepan lid, or how do the drawers work? Yep, they work. And seeing how, a bit of drawer dancing, how every action can be turned into a little dance move. Bit of fruit salad, body moving around the fruit, objects, picking up an apple or an orange, or you can join me or watch and have some ideas for your own kitchen dance, or just take things at your own pace. And breath, cupboard, seeing things, feeling things. And then a moment to just rest, come to pause. Thank you for joining me today on this journey. And I hope you'll be inspired to see the possibilities of domestic dancing in your kitchen. I very much hope we'll meet again.